Hello there, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another fragrance review. It's been quite a few days that we've reviewed a fragrance. It feels like forever. But nonetheless, today we have a fragrance from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi, and this is called Tiff Tiff. Okay, so it has a very quirky name called Tiff Tiff, and we are going to find out how this fragrance smells like, because there are three in this series. This is the second one that I'm reviewing. There was O'Clock that I reviewed already, which was an alternate of the Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male, and then we also have another one in the series called as Brulee, which is also supposed to be a good fragrance, but we'll figure out how this is. I've had it for a few weeks now, been testing it, smelling it, and I kind of have my consensus, now as to what kind of a scent this is and who's it for, and whether it is good for summers and who should you wear it. All of those things we'll discuss in this video. If you like videos or reviews where you like Middle Eastern, Indian fragrance houses and that kind of a thing, then definitely hit the notification icon, because then you and me both are in sync. In return, all I ask from you is a subscribe and a like if you kind of like the video, right? Let's get into the review without further ado. My name is Rodney. You're watching the Perfume Experience. Let's get going right after this intro. Alright, welcome back, and this, like I said, is the Tiff Tiff. Okay, it's got a very wacky name, Tiff Tiff, and the box packaging is very good. So it has got this up close. You will find this like an animal scale kind of a packaging to it. Maybe the bubble wrap is not allowing it in a very nice way. But once you pull up the sleeve, you kind of get a box that kind of looks like this, which is very beautiful. Okay, so let me show that to you. So very nice, a box, and it has got the Ahmed Al Maghribi part written here. Okay, let me show that to you, and overall looks very nice. Okay, now when you pull up the sleeve, like a lot of the other fragrances, in fact this is exactly like how we saw O'Clock. You will kind of see the bottle sitting inside. Okay, so the O'Clock was frosted glass and it had a white cap, but this has got a metallic cap and a very good looking bottle in my opinion. The juice color is lightly blue. Overall I feel it is looking very good. Right, so I have done a spray and I'll kind of tell you what this smells like. So before we get into this full review of the scent profile, this is 100 ml and this comes at 42% volume, which means this is a 48% concentration, and like most Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances, so it is pretty high in its concentration. Okay, so that should ideally mean that this is a long lasting fragrance as such, but we'll talk about it. All right, first let's talk about the scent profile and tell you what you kind of get when you smell this fragrance. Okay, so at the top I kind of get a fragrance note which is like a candied fruit kind of a note. Okay, now along with that you get a very nice vibe of some zesty citrusy element that is there, some kind of a sweet kind of a citrus element. Okay, then you have a very nice bubbly kind of a texture to it, a profile like something like a soda, or let's say for example Sprite. Okay, and after that it kind of starts leaning towards going towards light floral hint. You kind of get a sense of some kind of a light florals, like maybe a rose, something like that slightly, and then it transitions into its main aroma, which is basically the profile of a very beautiful creamy vanilla. Okay, so that's the overall curve that this fragrance does, and that's where it kind of leans. Now when you think about fruits, when you think about candied dry fruits, think about like Kamra. Okay, but Latafa's Kamra is a very dense version. Think about a more lighter version of a fragrance like that, which opens slightly like that. And think about if you were to have, like say, candied fruits like Kamra, imagine adding a Sprite into it, and then you will get that sweet bubbly effect to it, with a little bit of that freshness coming from citruses like orange. That's the kind of opening that you kind of get, which is very beautiful. And then, like I said, you do get a light hint of florals like this rose ones, and then of course a fantastic vanilla dry down, and the vanilla dry down is really the main character here. However, the top note is something very interesting, because it kind of does a very refreshing take to you, and then it kind of pleases you very beautifully. Now, although this has, like say, 48% of concentration, this is not a beast mode loud kind of a scent like the O'Clock. The O'Clock was a very loud scent, of course, because it was duping Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male, so the DNA itself is loud, but this isn't the case with this. This is more softer. So you do get about 2.5 feet of projection with this, but that projection lasts for about 45 minutes to 1 hour and plus. And during that point of time, if you are in a circle of your friends or close ones, you can expect compliments, because the general vibe in the air is very sweet, very nice, bubbly, vanilla kind of thing that smells really good, and it smells very rich as well. So that is definitely a good USP to it. Now the dry down is something that I personally enjoyed a lot, because you kind of get a lasting roughly about, let's say, 7-8 hours and beyond. Okay, now for the most part of it, after the first 1.5 hours time, you will actually think that it is quite light, so you will think that it is very faint, but surprisingly it does last pretty good. Even in day wear, when you wear it to office or indoors, you can expect 7-8 hours of performance. Moderately, I would say, in good conditions you should get 7-8 hours, but in a little harsher condition, little outdoor condition, or let's say a little bit more humidity and heat, you should expect 4 to 5 hours to 6 hours roughly. Okay, overall I felt this was a very pleasant take of on a fragrance that was inspired by a lot of vanilla fragrances. I could not figure out if it is duping any fragrance specifically as such, because like in the case of O'Clock, it was specifically Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male, but in this case you can't really identify if it is a specific type of a fragrance that it's cloning. But mostly I feel it is a kind of an amalgamation of 2 or 3 different fragrances in a way. Like think about La Male, for example, the vanilla dry down there, or for example like a Cambra's sweetness opening there. So a little bit like that, but the endowment of this particular fragrance, the body of this fragrance is absolutely beautiful and something that you will enjoy wearing it. Okay, now where can you wear this? In my opinion, this is a party fragrance. This is, I think, the entire series, the Brulee, the O'Clock and Tiff Tiff, all are party fragrances. So this is a very beautiful party fragrance. It's a very unisex type of a party fragrance. When you think about O'Clock, which is a super loud, very masculine type of a fragrance, I would say this is very unisex, feminine leaning a little bit more, but very easily carried by a men as well, and perfect for party wears, especially cocktail evenings or slight softer gatherings, not a very lot of loud gathering, but you can still wear it, pull it off for a club as well if you overspray this fragrance. Absolutely. Okay, now aside to this, I feel this is perfect for those softer evenings, walks, and even day wear. For summer evenings especially, this will be perfect, because it kind of works very, very well for that, a sweet candid opening, the bubbly fruity elements, and definitely the vanilla works absolutely wonderful for summer evenings as well. Right, now this retails to about 2,600 rupees roughly to 2,700, that kind of a ballpark figure. Probably a little lesser. I will try and see if you can get a good deal on this. I will add this to decants, so you should be available in decants by next week most likely, and I will also make sure that it's available on our website. So in case you don't know, we do have a website now. It's called ThePerfumeExperience.in, where you can get decants, you can get fragrances, inspired versions, and a lot more happening there as well. So definitely check out the page and do let me know if you've already interacted with us and how your feedback has been, all right, or how your experience has been, right? So overall, I kind of like this scent. Okay, surprisingly nice. In the initial first time when I smelled it, I did not enjoy this so much, to be very honest. I felt it was average, but as you keep wearing it and layering it or wearing it more and more, you start enjoying this fragrance and it starts to grow on you. And overall, I felt Ahmed Al Maghribi has offered something totally different when you think about all of their other fragrances, because generally a lot of their fragrances are very dense, very heavy, and very musky, strong, out loud. This in contrast is totally different. Okay, it's more softer, it's more pleasant, it's more bubbly, it's more playful, cheerful, a toying kind of a fragrance, which is absolutely fantastic for any partying, clubbing, or social gatherings where you want to smell something unique and rich. Overall, it's a very, very nice scent. Okay, so that's what I thought about Tiff Tiff from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. And if you want me to review Brulee, do also let me know on that. And if you kind of like this video, hit the like button, subscribe and share, and I'll see you on another one. Until another time, take care. Bye bye.